Yeah, so when I had a couple of interviews before, and I did mention to them that, and I mentioned it to the public out there that I am going to have a tune-up fight in my next fight, because just to give the hand a good feel, and also just get back into the ring again after a year. I want to just be in the best shape, and I want Kell to be in the best shape as well for when he fights, because it's going to be around about a year for him as well till he's back in the ring. We don't want no excuses. We just want to both make sure that we're both going to be, okay, and maybe the fight could happen at the end of the year, or maybe early next year. I mean, we're both 30 years old, both young. So it's not like we're in a hurry, or we're going to retire tomorrow.
Right.
So let's see, But I mean, the main thing is, he definitely needs to respect. And I think one more thing is that I know he has his mandatory fight against Errol Spence. Now, when it comes to mandatories, I never back down from any mandatory. I fought all my mandatories from fighting Madonna, from fighting Garcia, and also Peterson and all them guys. I fought whoever they put in front of me. Even if I knew it was a hard fight and it was going to be a tough fight for me. And I made that decision, whereas now with Kell and Errol Spence, I think Kell needs to fight Errol Spence, because this could be his door to open. This could be his opening big fight in America to get the American fans on his side, and then the fight between me and him will be even bigger.
True.
Instead of looking at 1 million, 2 million, it could be then in the tens of millions. So I think I've showed myself by fighting the biggest names in boxing, apart from Sean Porter and Triple G, which was a very, very close fight against Sean Porter, and the fight he lost against Triple G. Who else has Kell fought, really? Who's got a good name? Nobody. So,
yeah.
I mean, so I want the fight to be big and it be a good move for me financially and for the fans. So I really think that Kell Brook, to get a win against Errol Spence, the fight will be even bigger. Then maybe it would be a 50-50. Otherwise, it has to favor me.
He's kind of in a sticky situation because he's, obviously Errol's his mandatory, and that at least just listening to his interviews, it sounds like that's not a fight he's really interested in, because he even mentioned, I'm thinking about going to 154. So it sounds like he may not.
If he goes to 154, then that fight between me and him ain't gonna happen either.
That's what I was going to ask you. Does that fight have to definitely take place at 147?
At 147, yeah. So that fight's not going to happen. So if he moves up to 154, then he moves away from a big payday.
Which again,
he's in a fucked up position, really, bro.
Yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. Which again, that puts him in a fucked up position, because he's telling people, listen, if Amir Khan, that's a big fight for me, so I'll come down to 147 for Amir Khan, but I don't really want to come down to 147 for Errol Spence. It's hard making weight, so I'm thinking about moving up to 154. So, that for him, the perception is it's going to look like he's ducking Errol Spence for all intents and purposes.
Correct, yeah. Correct. And I think people need to realize that as well. He's always wanted easy fights or a fight that's going to give him big money. Now, the fight against Triple G, we all know he did that for the purse. For the fight against me, we know he's doing it for the big payday. And that's the reason. Against Errol Spence, who's in mandatory, he'll move up. I mean, that's he doesn't want to face him because he's scared. So I think if he moves up to 154, then that fight between me and him will never happen. He has to stay 147 for that fight to happen. So really, once he makes that step up and moves at 154, I think it'll be very hard for him to get back down to 147. So let's see. I mean, he wants to cash in. I really believe he wants to cash in, and also then he wants to avoid his mandatory. So that's the reason why he wants to face me. So then, if he does, maybe the IBF gives him a go ahead. If he faces me, to go let that ride in the mandatory position, because it'll be such a big fight. But I think the fight between me and Kell doesn't need a title, basically. So maybe that's what he's looking at.
Right.
Even if I give my IBF title out. So I think he is looking at the most money option, and winning, losing doesn't really bother him. But and he just doesn't want to be in a hard fight.
Yeah. we'll see what happens, man. Because at some point he's going to have to make a decision about this title. And like I said, I don't think it's going to look good for him. You know, if
I mean, I never respect a fighter who gives up his title for nothing, for not even fighting. I mean, I respect him more if he goes into a fight and gets beat than not avoiding a guy, not to fight a guy. You know, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I had to fight all my mandatories, and I never backed out from one mandatory at all, you know, so...
Yeah.
And that's the reason I got that respect for being a fighter, so I think Kell is never going to get that same respect if he doesn't fight his mandatory. I mean, imagine, okay, if it was Kevin Bizier or some Jojo Dan, then I think he would have definitely taken that mandatory fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier. So what's he looking at? He's looking at the easy option. He just wants to stay on. He just wants to stay. He wants to keep a good record and win a fight. That's it. He's not bothered who is against. He's not bothered it being a soft opponent. He just wants to win an easy fight. Really, he doesn't want to be in the trenches. He doesn't want to fight in the trenches or in a hard fight.
Mm-hmm.
So look, you heard it from me now. I really believe that Kell Brook will definitely pull out the fight against Errol Spence. He will try to use my name in that because he will say that, we were negotiating with Amir Khan and he kept leading us on, and that's the reason the fight didn't happen and I lost my title. So people will blame me for that and not him. So you've heard it from me. I ain't gonna, if a Kell Brook fight was to happen, it's gonna happen end of the year because I've just come off a hand operation. I lost my last fight. I want a nice tune-up fight in the next fight, get back on winning ways, and then go into a big fight.